The entire universe is about 94 billion light-years across. That's the size of the observable universe. But how big is that exactly? Unfortunately, it's really hard to wrap your mind around just how big that is. So let's try anyway. If you were to take one of the Milky Way's most famous star clusters, the Pleiades, and enlarge it to the size of the observable universe, then the entire cluster would be spread out over a distance of roughly 260 trillion kilometers. And if you took the largest star in the universe, R136a1, a blue supergiant almost 300,000 light-years away from Earth in the Large Magellanic Cloud, and enlarged it to the size of the observable universe, then you'd need to spread that star out over a distance of roughly 15 octillion kilometers. Both of those numbers are just mind-bogglingly huge. But we can do a little bit better than that. Let's use something a little closer to home for scale. Let's talk about Earth. If you wanted to blow Earth up to the size of the observable universe, you'd need to increase the diameter of our planet by a factor of around 9.4 billion. The radius of Earth is about 6,300 kilometers. So if you multiplied that radius by 9.4 billion, we get a new radius for Earth of roughly 59.8 trillion kilometers. Let's go one step farther and imagine what it would be like if we did this to the Sun. If we increase the Sun's radius by 9.4 billion, we get a gigantic ball of burning plasma that spans a distance of roughly 566 trillion kilometers. To put that another way, if you took all the atoms that make up the Sun and lined them up in a row, they would stretch for a distance of roughly 1.4 quindecillion meters. To be clear, none of these comparisons are perfect. For example, the distances between the stars in the Pleiades is nowhere near as vast as the distances between the stars in the Milky Way. But still, even with all their flaws, these comparisons give us some small sense of just how mind-bogglingly large the observable universe really is. And keep in mind, this is only the part of the universe that we can actually observe. There's no telling how far the universe stretches beyond that. It could be infinite. For all we know, there could be more universes out there. We tend to think of space as being pretty empty, but in reality, the universe is actually full of a lot more stuff than you might expect. Take our closest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri. This red dwarf is about 4.2 light-years away from Earth. If you were to replace it with our Sun, then the next closest star, Alpha Centauri A, would be about 1.35 light-years away. That means that if you were standing on Proxima Centauri, you would be able to see the Sun with the naked eye. In fact, if you were to map the positions of all the stars in the night sky as seen from Proxima Centauri, they would look almost identical to how they look from Earth, only when you took into account the fact that Alpha Centauri A would actually be visible to the unaided eye, while the other stars would appear faint and blurry, like a bad Photoshop job. Of course, if you were actually to try this thought experiment, you wouldn't be able to see much of anything at all. Not only is Proxima Centauri very faint and very far away, but its light is also red shifted outside the range of visible light. Plus, the atmosphere of the star would block any chance of seeing anything. But hey, it's fun to think about things like this, because it gives us a small glimpse into what it might be like to exist in a completely different part of the universe. It's amazing to think about how vast and mysterious the universe is. If you're fascinated by space and want to learn more about our universe and the incredible discoveries that have been made, subscribe for more updates.